Our topic of the day is corporate event planning. And with no further ado, let's jump right in.
So my name's Leslie. I'm an event planner, and I've been an event planner for 15 years in Orange County. And Pauline has some questions for me because I love helping people create the most successful and most memorable event possible.
Awesome. Okay, Leslie, I call you up. How do you help me have the most successful event?
Well, the very first thing that I'm going to ask you is to communicate to me what type of event you're trying to plan. Is this a very fancy holiday party? Is it an easy breezy company outing, company picnic with family members involved? What sort of event are you planning? So you want to have that in mind before you call venues, because that's going to help them structure information for you.
Awesome. Okay, great, Leslie. So now I know what type of event I'm having. What's the next thing I need to know?
The next thing that I would ask you is probably the who. Who is this party for? Are we planning a party for teenagers? Are we planning a party for adults? Are we planning a party for a mixed company? So we want to know who we're planning the party for. If we're planning a water park event and nobody intends to swim, it's not going to be very successful. So we got to nail down who's the party for. Who are our guests?
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Melissa. We just completed our company event here at Glow Zone. We had a great time. There was about 30 of us here that participated, and it really was an opportunity for us to get to know each other a little bit better. We split up into teams of 5 each, and we made a point of separating everybody into teams of people that wouldn't have normally been associated with each other, because, you know, with companies there tends to be groups of people that tend to hang out with each other quite often, and so we made a point of splitting everybody up so they had an opportunity to get to know others that they wouldn't normally have an opportunity to speak with, and it was a great chance for them to learn more about their colleagues and get to know other people that they wouldn't have a chance to get to know in other situations. So that was a great experience for everybody. It also allowed us to kind of let our inner child out. We had a really good time playing all the games and bowling and bazooka ball. So we had a great time here at Glow Zone today. It was a lot of fun.
All right, Leslie. So now I know what type and I know my who. I'm getting ready to give you a call, right?
No, don't call me yet. The one thing that most people forget to gather before they call venues, getting information, is thinking about their budget. Your budget is going to affect the type of venue that you can select, and it's also going to help your event planner customize an event for you. I can make 1,000 different events on one particular type or who, but I need to know the budget. If I know what that is, I can actually find things that are the better value for your event. When guests call with no budget, it's very difficult to help them get where they're going.
Awesome. So let me work on that budget then. Okay, Leslie, so now I have the type, I have the who, and I know I've got to nail down my budget. What are some of the things that I need to consider when I'm getting that budget together?
Well, when you're thinking about your budget, there's key points that you want to consider. Number one is your bar options. So is this the kind of event where you want to host sodas, a cash bar where the guests pay for their own drinks, perhaps you're hosting an unlimited open bar, or maybe you're just going to do a few drink tickets. I've just given you 4 different price point options there. So when you're thinking about budget, if you're not going to be hosting, drinks, it's going to be a lot less than if you're hosting just sodas. So that's one of the things to consider. The next very important thing to think about with your budget is food options. And again, you can go from something simple like hamburgers and hot dogs, pizza party, to filet mignon and things like that nature. So again, you have a very big budget range. So when you're sitting down to think about your per person budget, you'll have a better idea of what venues you should call once you have that budget in mind.
Awesome. Great takeaway. Thanks for that. All right, good. I've got my type, I've got my who, and I've got that budget. I know if it's cash bar.
Wait. You cut me off before I got to entertainment budget.
All right.
So don't forget about entertainment. Entertainment can be a lot of things. Most popular is going to be DJ and music, but you also have entertainment. If it's an event that includes kids, you've got face painting and balloon animals. If it's adults, you have roaming magicians, you have comedians. So there's a big range also when it comes to entertainment budget. So is your party going to have some type of entertainment can really affect that budget as well.
Awesome. All right, so entertainment, Leslie, do I have to be responsible for all that too?
It's possible. It depends on the venue. A lot of venues will have approved vendor lists. I highly recommend using an approved vendor list if there is one. And this vendor list is going to be professionals that you can trust. They're going to have better pricing for you because we use them a lot. They're going to know exactly where to plug in, where to park, and how to make your event special. If you have a venue where they don't provide vendors, then you do have a little bit more work on your hands. So you want to consider how much time do you have to plan this party. Maybe you want to find a venue that is all inclusive of the vendors for you that have put up the work. I always provide vendor lists because I love to work with professionals that I can trust and I know you can trust.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was pretty good and important to know.
Yes.
Leslie, okay, so now I have somewhat of an idea about my budget and all the other wonderful details we've gone over. I'm ready to call you.
All right, well, that's exciting. Next thing you want to think about when you call is your date and time preferences, though. So have in mind, what is your first choice? That is always obviously going to be, but have a backup, because if you're planning something short notice, you may not have the date and time that is available, so you need to have other options. Because if you find the perfect venue, you might have to make adjustments. If you're doing a holiday party, a year out is not too early to plan, by the way. I have customers that finish their holiday parties and rebook for the following year just to get the date and the time that they want of their preference. If you're planning something 6 months out, a lot of holiday parties will plan about 6 months out. That's usually a good amount of time where you're going to get the better dates and times, pricing, and everything that goes along with that. So have your preference in mind, but have a backup just in case.
Awesome. Okay, Leslie, so I am ready to call you up and get this all done and squared away.
Are you? Well, let's not forget about event planners. The next thing you want to consider is using an event planner. An event planner can be provided by the venue. It can be an outside event planner. But event planners are going to help you make the most successful event and less stress. So I highly recommend a planner, whether you're using the one from the venue that you're going to or finding your own.
I agree with you. Event planners, that's their job. They take away all the stress of your mega event, and they're professionals and trained in pulling this all together.
Absolutely. And if there's a problem, they're going to fix it before you ever know about it. And that's what you're paying for.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leslie. Okay, Leslie, so thank you so much for this awesome interview. Is there any last minute tips that you can offer me?
I think that the piece that most people miss is communicating to their guests. And I'm pausing here for dramatic fluctuation because it's important, okay? You have got to take all of the planning that you've done for your event and communicate it out to your guests. We're talking about things like date and time, addresses. I know everyone has GPS, but those little addresses, maybe they Googled the wrong thing. You want to have an address. Attire. What are they wearing? Is it summer shorts? Is it dressy? You don't want people to feel awkward when they arrive. And what kind of amenities will you have at this event? Is there food provided? Is there drinks provided? And when you don't communicate, your guests aren't going to have as much fun if they don't know what the expectation is. So always communication is key. That's the biggest tip.
Awesome, Leslie. I really appreciate that last minute tip because I've seen people miss out on a wonderful event because they didn't know just how to dress, and so they're sitting in the corner feeling underdressed or overdressed.
Yeah, just what to wear can ruin the whole night.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Leslie. You are the expert event planner.
Hey. The It's a lifestyle, join Pauline. Need a go-to, join Pauline. Tryna live here to join Pauline. Pauline winning with the ball team. Build new habits for a lifetime. Talk interviews, it's the right time. For a beat blog, big extravaganza. Good vibes only, go ahead, catch 'em. All access, backstage press. How to balance back and forth. All the love and the joy. You see major events. Delicate treats with the mix. DIY complete the project. Believe that sharing give you knowledge. It's all one Lord. Pauline show love. Join Pauline Samuels.com. It's all one Lord. Pauline show love. Join Pauline Samuels.com.
And remember, you can read the full detailed blog on this topic of corporate event planning at paulinesamuels.com. Additionally, you'll find my free checklist for event planning.